Good afternoon, dear students. So, all of you can hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I told good afternoon.
Good.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is forcibly getting good afternoon from all of you, right? Okay. So, that's fine. We were discussing about the atom and writing the electronic configuration, the basic needs and requirements, right? So, we had at the end of the last session, we had few questions, interesting questions. So we'll just look into those questions and proceed further. Okay, in today's class. So this was called concept revision questions, right? Name the rules related to the questions given here. Okay, 3 electrons of 2p orbitals are singly occupied. That is not paired. So according to which rule says no? It is a check on your memory now. So in our last class, we have discussed some of the important rules governing electronic configurations. Okay, 3 electrons of 2p orbitals are singly occupied. That's because of which rule? Oh, people have forgotten. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you just list out 3 important rules which I had given? So first one, I have got a message from Amruta, which is actually correct. But it is one of the rule, that's all. It is not the answer for this question. It is one
Sir,
of
is it Hund's rule?
right, exactly. So which are the rules we have seen? Number 1.
Aufbau principle.
Number 2.
Pauli's exclusion
Number 3.
principle. Hund's rule.
So these are 3 important basic rules, correct? Now, if 3 electrons go singly without being occupied, it is Pauli's exclusion principle or which one? Which one it is? Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, correct? No? So this is only when all the orbitals are singly occupied or half filled, the pairing takes place there. Can you tell me 4s orbital fills first, then 3d orbital, and not vice versa?
Off-bus principle.
Principle.
It is Aufbau principle, correct? It is Aufbau principle. An orbital can accommodate only 2 electrons, not more than that.
Pauli's
exclusion.
exclusion principle.
Pauli's exclusion. Okay. Now the 2 electrons added to the same orbital will have opposite spin, not same spin. Which one?
The opposite spin.
Opposite spin. Which rule?
Pauli's
exclusion
principle.
Pauli's exclusion principle. Okay. This we had a little discussion also in the last session. Ferric ion is more stable than ferrous ion. Ferric ion is Fe2 plus. Ferrous ion is Fe2 plus. Ferric ion is Fe3 plus, and Fe3 plus is more stable than Fe2 plus. So what is the reason? So this means you people ask for video, we will send the video, and that's it. You will see the video, but not the same video that we have sent. You will see some other videos, movies or documentaries or something like that, correct? So videos you want, but we send, it is not seen. That's the conclusion, correct? No, no. You should have the habit of just rethinking about what has been done, what is to be done, and just to ponder over whatever the subject has been done. Revision is very essential tool in PU. Okay, so much work. This is 10th standard, and 10th standard, if this is the volume, and first PU will not be this volume or this volume. Suddenly it goes by this one. Okay, keeping your competitive exams, everything in the mind, it goes slightly beyond the camera level also. Correct. So, how to manage so much syllabus from this level to going by this level? That is by everyday revision. If you cultivate the habit of revision every day, say one chapter is done of 10 hours. 10 hours lecturer has spent in the classroom to cover that one. You would, daily study that one and keep revising. And, this 10 hours syllabus will reduce to 10 minutes of revision or 5 minutes of revision. But that has to be done on this. Keep looking into the concept. Okay. So it's, yes, you have understood, you have responded, you have answered even the MCQs, questions, and next level questions, everything. If subject doesn't retain in the mind, managing huge amount of syllabus becomes definitely difficult. Okay, so that is where exactly your success lies in. Okay, so majorly revision. You should see to it that nothing evaporates from your mind. That too, when it comes to evaporativeness, the chemistry is having more evaporativeness, right, compared to all other subjects. So you have to keep revising it. So yeah, ferrous ion has Fe2 plus. It has 3d6 4s0 electronic configuration, which is partially filled. And ferric ion has Fe3 plus oxidation state of charge. You have the electronic configuration 3d5 4s0, and 3d5 is half filled. As a result, it is more stable. So we had mentioned one more important rule governing electronic configuration apart from AFBA, Pauli's exclusion principle, Hund's rule, which is that the other one, half filled and completely filled orbitals are more stable. So with respect to that, ferric ion has 3d5 half filled, ferrous ion has 3d6 partially filled, so ferric ion is more stable. So till here we have done in our last class. That was on 11 part. Okay, so I also have come across this. I told you to remember electronic configuration of noble gases. Okay, it helps you a lot. Many a times while writing the electronic configuration of elements with more than 10 atomic number, we generally reduce the time required to write the electronic configuration by comparing inner core electrons to the nearest noble. What do we mean by that? I'll let you know. Just let us pay attention towards these noble gases and their electronic configurations. You would see this. All of them have in their outermost shell, 2 plus 6, 2 plus 6, totally 8 electrons in their outermost shell. That is, 8 electrons means octet, what we call octet number of electrons. Having 8 electrons in their outermost shell incur a kind of stability to them, and due to more symmetric arrangement of electrons, they will become quite stable, inert. They doesn't participate in the chemical reactions because they are happy having 8 electrons. If at all you want to have sweets, you have already had a very nice sweet at home prepared by mom. Why do you want to have little more sweet? Because it's you're contented. Like that here, noble gases have complete stability due to 8 number of electrons in the valence shell. So there is no need for them to get extra stability by altering the electrons in the valence shell. So they don't undergo any reaction at all. That's why they're inert gases or noble gases. Here, an excuse is helium. Helium has 2 electrons in the outermost shell. Rest all have 8 electrons in the outermost shell. For example, neon, the outermost shell is second shell. In the second shell, which are the subshells, 2s and 2p. Total number of electrons, 2 plus 6, 8. Argon, which is the valence shell, third shell is the valence shell. Total number of electrons, 2 plus 6, 8. Like that, krypton, fourth shell, and xenon, fifth shell. Radon has electrons in the valence shell, sixth. Okay, so 2 plus 6, 8. So just know about all these things. We shall move on to some samples of writing electronic configuration of some elements. Okay, so are you all ready? Now, what you need to do, I'll give some elements. You should start writing the electronic configuration. Okay, of all those things on a paper and immediately type it in the chat box and send it back to me. Let's see who will respond fast. Okay, let's take simple ones now first to begin. Okay, uh, see, this is a simple. First of all, is hydrogen. Correct? Hydrogen, atomic number 1. What do you mean by atomic number? It's the number of protons present inside the nucleus of an atom. For an atom, atomic number is same as electron number because proton number must equalize electron number in an atom. Why proton number must equalize electron number in an atom? Anybody?
To maintain the stability of the atom, as
Come
they
again.
they are oppositely charged.
Pranav, little more audibility near the mic.
To maintain the stability of the atom, as they are oppositely charged.
Okay. Yes. Stability fine. Apart from that, stability is somehow associated with in every aspect. Okay.
Neutral charge.
Swati Srinivas has somebody has answered. What is that?
Sir, they should remain neutrally charged, sir.
To maintain neutrality. Is that the meaning?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. Even Swati Srinivas in the chat has given atoms are neutral. So protons, atomic number is proton. They're nothing but positive charges. Electrons, negative. So the total positive charge, magnitude of total positive charge on proton is equal to electron. So if there are 10 electrons in an atom, so it is to balance 10 proton charge. In other words, if there are 20 protons inside the nucleus, there must be 20 electrons outside the nucleus. Something like that. Okay. So if I say atomic number of an atom, it should always signify number of protons which are equal to number of electrons in an atom, not in an ion. In case of an ion, number of electrons will not be equal to number of protons because ions will be formed only when you add electron to an atom or remove electron from an atom. So only in case of an atom, proton number is equal to electron number. So atomic number can be taken either as proton number or electron number for an atom. So now hydrogen, atomic number 1 means electron number 1. Okay. So let me write this one. There is one electron. One electron goes to the lowest energy first fills according to Hubble principle, right? So it is 1s1. Look at that. This is the electronic configuration when I say that. So what do you mean by 1s1? There is one electron in an orbital of s subshell belonging to first shell. Now the first number, okay, the first number signifies the shell. This is shell. This is orbital or subshell. And what we write this number indicate number of electrons accommodated. Number of electrons accommodated. So this is how we write the electronic configuration. So in your 10th standard and all, for CBSE they used to give 2, 8, 8, something like that. 10 if at all, if electrons are balancing, or 18 you write. So here, henceforth, you will be writing complete details of the electronic configuration where electron is present, which orbital, which subshell, which shell, everything. Is that okay? Right. We shall proceed further. Okay. Now I'll jump from hydrogen. Next is helium. One more electron goes to 1s2. That's fine. We'll go to something like beryllium. Beryllium, atomic number 4. Now you need to type in the electronic configuration and give. Come on, make it fast. I'm just observing the chat box. Yes. First was given by, many of you are giving correct answer. Anjana U, 1s2. 1p2. 1s2, madam. Okay. So it's already in the excited state. So Anjana, you meant 1s2, 1p2, or is it typo? Ashrita 1s2, 2s2, but rest again Summit 1s2, 2p2. 1s2, 2p2. Okay. So Anjana says it's a typo. It's a by mistake. Okay. 1s2, 2s2. Give a space there or comma. Fine. Now see, atomic number 4 means there are 4 electrons. So what is the capacity of S subshell? S subshell has only one orbital. So we would always say 2 electrons in an orbital.
2 electrons.
So 1s2, 2 electrons will go there. Remaining 2 more electrons have to go to next energy level. So if I had to represent an atom, this is the first shell, second shell. In the first shell, there is only 1s. In the second shell, 2s, 2p, that's all. Okay. In the third shell, like this, there is 3s, 3p, and 3d also. But electrons will 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p. After 3p, there is discontinuity in filling the orbitals. I told you from 4s, after 3p, 4s fills. After filling 4s, 3d goes. Then come back to 4s, 4p. So in fourth shell, there is 4d, correct, and also 4f. But F fills only after 6s. So you should know all this. Okay. And now coming back to beryllium, there are 4 electrons, 2 electrons in 1s, 2 more electrons remaining goes to next energy level according to Hafner principle. That is 2s2. Okay. I would give one more. Okay. Go for carbon. Atomic number 6. Give me the electronic configuration. Medha, correct. Right. How about remaining people? Is it difficult? Yeah. That's correct. Okay, Advait Arun has given electronic configuration slightly different when compared to all of you. Okay, so okay, let me write electrons. 6 electrons. So 1s2. Next 2 electrons will go to this, and totally 6 electrons are there. Remaining 2 electrons will go to 2p, 2p2. So what do you mean by 2p2? There are 2 electrons in p subshell which belong to second shell. Okay, a p subshell means there are 3 orbitals. We write p subshell with 3 boxes like this. Correct? Now 2 electrons, how do they go? Here, here. Later you will come to know these 3 p subshell, p orbitals in p subshell are represented as px, py, and pz. So correctly including the shell number, you should say 2px, 2py, 2pz. So the two electrons of 2p subshell will go to 2px1, 2py1, whereas 2pz 0, no electron. Every time we don't write this much detailed electronic configuration, we would simply write 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. It is meant when I say 2p2, the two orbitals px and py are singly occupied. Okay. Now, one of you have given electronic configuration like this: helium 2, 2s2, 2p2, like that. Is it wrong writing like this or correct?
Correct, sir.
Correct. Now, inner core electrons are compared to the nearest noble gas, that is helium. Okay. But the problem is 1s2, writing 1s2 is easy, or writing square bracket He2 is easy. Which is easy?
1s2.
So we'll go for up to atomic number 10. It is easy to write 1s2 than He square bracket 2, like that. So for that reason, we don't compare inner core electrons to the helium, though it is similar. Okay, if you write, it's fine. 1s2 itself is easy and convenient, so no problem. This is also correct. Okay, fine. We'll go with next atomic number. Okay, go for nitrogen. Atomic number 7. Give me how exactly electrons arrange in 2p, like the way I have represented here. In the chart box, you cannot write box. So therefore, px1, 2py1, like that you should write. Okay, let's see who will do. Come on. I told you to give the details of the orbitals also in the p subshell. That's nice, actually. Looking at the electronic configuration that you are typing, and also very fast and accurate. Good. Px1, Py1, Pz1. Advait. Correct. Disha Prashant. Correct. 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. Fantastic. Amog has given only 2p electronic configuration. Okay, that's fine. So electrons in the nitrogen atom are 7. So let me write. It is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. When I say 2p3, 3 electrons are unpaired or they are paired. 3 electrons of 2p subshell are paired or unpaired?
Unpaired.
Unpaired. This is according to Pauli's exclusion principle or Aufbau principle?
Sir, this is Hund's rule, no, sir?
Fantastic. So I would give a wrong choice. You need not have to select the choice given only. Okay, this is according to Pauli's exclusion principle or Hund's law, not both. Aufbau I have told, not both. It is actually Hund's rule. Okay, so pairing takes place only when all the orbitals are exactly half filled. Okay, so if I give 1, 2, 3, so 3 electron. So 2px1, 2py1, 2pz. No issue. Now we'll go for oxygen. Can anybody immediately tell me how many unpaired electrons are there in oxygen valence shell?
2.
Okay. Why 2?
Its valence is 2.
It's valence. Why valence is 2 is only the question actually.
Sir, 2 electrons are in the outermost shell.
Two
No, no,
subshells are not.
2 electrons are not.
2 subshells are not filled.
2 orbitals. 2 subshells are not filled. Subshells in the second shell is 2s and 2p itself. They're filled. I didn't get the answer correctly. Anybody?
Sir, is it because px and py are in 2 electron pairs?
Pardon me?
Sir, because if you think about it, oxygen's electronic configuration would be 1s2, 2s2, and 2p4. So if you draw it in the px, py, and pz boxes, there's going to be 2 pairs. No, sir. There's going to be 2 pairs of thing. So px will be 2 and py will be 2.
Sir, oxygen needs 2 more electrons to attain stability.
Okay, it needs 2 more electrons to complete the object. Okay, right. Now I just asked you how many unpaired electrons and why. Okay, so the thing is there are 4 electrons in oxygen, 2p subshell. In 2p subshell there are 3 orbitals px, py, pz. First 1 electron will be added, Hund's rule. Then there is 1 more electron remaining, 2p4 it is, that will go to one of the orbital, that is px, and get paired. Okay, now listen up. This time I'll write directly. 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. When I say 2p4, use the terminologies properly. It may be not familiar to you so far. 2p is a subshell. It has 3 orbitals, px, py, pz. 2px, 2py, 2pz to be precise. 4 electrons to be added. So here Hund's rule is applicable. 1 electron each first. But still there is 1 more electron. Now all the orbitals are singly occupied. 1 more electron has to be paired now with the first electron. Now while pairing, should I add electron with the arrow mark upward like this? If I add like that, will it be right or wrong?
Sir, it's wrong, sir. You need to do it downward.
Correct, no? That is according to which one? Aufbau principle or Hund's rule?
Pauli's exclusion.
Pauli's
Pauli
exclusion.
exclusion.
Pauli's exclusion principle it should be. Correct, no? So fine. It has to be down. This is the correct. So now I was asking, how many unpaired electrons are there in oxygen? Unpaired electrons will be there in the valence shell itself. Okay, it is 2 unpaired electrons. So in 2py1, 2pz1, there is 1 electron. There are 2 unpaired electrons, and number of unpaired electrons will make it the valency of that particular element. So oxygen, why valency is 2? Then your answer should be to complete the octet. It requires 2 more, so it shares all those things. Okay. So here, why only 2 electrons in the valence shell unpaired? Because in 2p subshell there are 4 electrons. 1 electron enter into each orbital according to Hund's rule, and 1 more gets paired. So that remaining 2 electrons become unpaired. Okay. So make it fast. Answer these questions. I'll give electronic configuration in p subshell. You have to tell me in that particular electronic configuration how many unpaired electrons are there. Okay. P3, how many unpaired electrons?
3.
P3.
3.
3 unpaired electrons. Good. P4, how many unpaired electrons? We have seen now.
2.
2. Okay. I would write it as N. N is number of unpaired electrons, symbol for unpaired electron. So 3. Here it is 4. 2. Sorry. 2 unpaired electrons. P2, how many unpaired electrons?
4.
P2, how many unpaired electrons?
2.
3. 3.
2 unpaired electrons. Sir, 4.
4, sir.
Now,
Sir, it's
Sir,
2,
there are
sir.
only 2 electrons.
There's only 2.
correct. No,
Electrons,
there are
sir.
only 2
Yes,
electrons.
sir.
Out of
There's
there,
only 2
4
electrons. That's 2.
I have added only 2 electrons to p subshell. What you people are thinking? Suddenly, how many more electrons are required? You are calculating. 6 electrons to be filled. 2 electrons are there. You are giving the answer 4. But I am asking number of unpaired electron. If I had 2 electrons there, you can see the carbon here. In case of carbon, it is 2p2. There are only 2 electrons. So how many unpaired electrons? 2. Look at that.
Two.
Okay. I would give electronic configuration p1. How many unpaired electrons? Don't say me 5.
One.
1.
1 only. Okay. p5 I'll give. How many unpaired electrons?
One, sir.
One.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Because if I give p sub shell, it has 3 orbitals. So 5 electrons we need to add now. p5. First, each orbital fills up with 1 electron. Remaining 2 more, 4 and 5. So there is 1 unpaired electron in value. Okay. p6. How many unpaired electrons?
Zero.
0.
0.
0.
0. Okay. Like that. So this is the. Now, can you immediately answer these questions? D subshell has how many orbitals?
5.
5 orbit.
D subshell has 5 orbitals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll give the electronic configuration. You have to tell me how many unpaired electrons are there. Okay. D5. How many unpaired electrons?
5.
5.
5.
Like D10. How many unpaired electrons?
0.
D9. How many unpaired electrons?
1.
D6. How many unpaired electrons?
4.
4. Correct. Now I'll just show D6. 1 electron go. Then pairing takes place. So there are 4 unpaired electrons. D4. How many unpaired electrons?
4.
4.
4.
D8. How many unpaired electrons?
2.
2.
D3.
3.
3.
Okay. D2.
2.
2.
Now make it fast. I'll combine everything. Okay. D4.
4.
4.
4. P4. P4.
2.
2.
2. D5.
5.
P5.
1.
P2.
2.
2.
D2.
2.
2.
D7.
3.
3.
P7.
It's
Not
not
possible.
possible.
Not
Not
possible.
possible.
Not possible. So P7 is not possible according to which rule? I'll give options. Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle. Generally, the answer is not the option that I have given, no? See, I've given you P7. P7, you told it's not possible. Which law restrict P7 electronic configuration? I'm giving the option, Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle. So what is the answer?
Pauli's exclusion principle.
Pardon me? Somebody told.
Pauli's exclusion principle.
Sure. How come Pauli's exclusion principle say that P7 is not possible?
Sir,
Where it says maximum of 2 electrons can be added to an orbital.
Pranav, a little louder near the microphone. Audibility is little low.
It says that a maximum of 2 electrons can be added in an orbital.
So in P subshell, how many orbitals are there?
3 orbitals.
So therefore maximum there can be
6 electrons.
So 7 is not possible. That's the correct answer, Pranav. Very good. So Pauli's exclusion principle, how is it explaining only 6? Each orbital can accommodate only 2 electrons. In p subshell, there are 3 orbitals. So totally 6 electrons can be added maximum, not 7 electrons. Okay, that's fine. Make it fast. I am going to go a little out of the box. P and D, I'll ask you, F7, how many unpaired electrons?
7.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But why it is so? Because F subshell has 7 orbitals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So
Excuse me,
if I
sir.
say F7, each orbital can accommodate 1 electron each. It is only after 7 electrons the pairing takes place. F13 would have how many unpaired electrons?
1.
1.
1.
1. F4 has how many unpaired electrons?
4.
P4.
2.
D4.
4.
4.
S4.
Not
F7.
7.
D7.
Not
not possible.
D7.
3.
3.
P7.
Not
Not possible.
S2. How many unpaired electrons? S2.
0.
S1.
1.
1.
S1 and half.
half.
Not possible.
Not possible.
Not possible.
Okay. F14.
0.
0.
No, that's fine. We'll take some more elements for writing electronic configuration. Shall I remove this completely? I need a.
Sir,
Pardon me?
what is the name of the orbitals in D and F, sir?
Bharat Chandra, come again. I'm not able to hear you properly.
Sir, what is the name of the orbitals in D and F?
D and F. Okay. Name of see this is p orbital. We have given px, py, pz. In case of D, let me use a different thing. I'll just reload this. Make it space for me. See, this is it is not able to be seen. Take a light color. 1 second. This is dx1, dyz, dx, dx square y square, dz square. Okay. Now, what is the shape of s orbital? What is the shape of s orbital?
Spherical.
Spherical. Double dumbbell is which one?
D.
D.
What is the shape of p?
Dumbbell.
And what did we say for f?
Complex.
Complex.
So for that reason, we don't give any designation or symbols for the orbitals of f. We simply say 7 orbitals. Okay. So as I told you recently, it's been told that it is distracted double dumbbell, something like that. Distract, similar to that, but not exactly distracted, but somehow similar. Okay. So this is like, is that okay? So shall I proceed now? Shall I clear this? So if you have noted down, anybody are writing this? If not, I'll just clear this. I need little more space here. Okay, shall I clear this?
Yes.
Yes. See, all those elements which we have taken so far are atomic number up to 10. Let's straight away go to titanium element. Titanium atomic number is 22. I want you to write the electronic configuration and post it in the chat box. Come on. I'm just looking at the chat box. Who will give the first answer? For all those elements, I had got the answer by now. Okay, it takes little time, no issue. So Advait Tarun has given already Archon 184S. Give me the detailed electronic configuration. I'm little curious to know. Don't compare that in inner core with noble gas. Give me the complete electronic configuration. But Advait, that's correct. Three S two. There is a typo. 3P6. 4S2 3D2. Fantastic. Madhura. Correct. Quite fast, man. Fantastic. Fantastic. Very nice. Correct. 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 Every time you write things that why it is after that. So if you keep revising that, the concept of rules governing electronic configuration becomes very strong. Okay.
Sir, 4S has lower energy levels than 3D now, sir. So that's why it's filled first.
Tell me again.
Sir, the 4S subshell is
Yeah.
filled before the 3D subshell because it has lower energy needs and has lower energy levels, no, sir.
4S has less energy. 3D has more energy.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes, sir. That's why I said 4S gets filled first.
Correct. 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 And
Sir,
that
but
is
there
according to
are,
Pauli's. That is according to Pauli's or Ansrud?
So that's because of Pauli's, sir, I think.
Off bar.
Above.
Wait, off bow. Oh, yeah, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I have one more question, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, I
Tell
have
me.
one more question, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, I've noticed at times that that sometimes people write 4 as 0. I don't know. I don't really understand why.
You mean there will be electrons in D, but there will be no electrons in S. You mean that one?
Yes, sir.
See, one such example is palladium. Okay, electrons will be found in D. Okay, there are some of the exceptional electronic configuration which we have in the periodic table. Is it the exceptional
like
electronic
copper, no, sir?
configuration seen with every element? No. By and large, most of elements follow these rules, but in some cases, some exceptional electronic configurations are found, and that is stable also. Again, that is exceptional electronic configuration, but it is stable. We'll see that. Some of the electronic configuration we'll see. There, I'll tell you that. Okay, your observation is correct, in fact. Okay. Fine. Most of you have given correctly. Maybe some or the other typo could be there, like 3S2 SP6 you have written. Okay, maybe that is type. Not that is understand. So fine. You have all written titanium. Give me chromium. Chromium atomic number 24. I want complete. Let's see.
Sir, it's the same as a titanium, but it'll 4S1 and 3D this one, sir. Like, wow.
Sir, chromium and copper
There
are
is a reason I
exceptions,
want
sir.
you to write, and I just want you to write that one. There is a reason for which I am asking you to write. So the first answer actually very fast was given from okay, Advait Arun, that's correct actually, but give me. This is Amruta. Okay. And also before that it is Anjana, ready for? Okay. Now you people simply copying and pasting it again with the 3D2. Okay. Huh? That's what I said. Give me electronic. What is this? 1s2 1p2? Anjana? Hmm. Sarthaka 1s 4s1 3d5. Even Advait. Okay. Can Sarthaka give me why it was not 4s2 3d4 and why it is 4s1 3d5?
Sir, one of the reasons being it will be more stable that way, and since 5 and 4s1 and 3d5 will be more stable, and also one more reason was paramagnetism. I completely forgot, like I somewhat remember it. It was related to paramagnetism.
Because of unpaired electron, paramagnetism arises. That's fine. Just to acquire paramagnetism, electron do not get unpaired. If that was the case, in every atom, whichever has less number of unpaired electron would have become more number of unpaired. That's right. But what you told first one was the correct and apt answer. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. That's fine. We will take further. Okay, let me just give electronic configuration of this titanium and chromium, and then take up some more. Okay. So here, 22 electrons are there. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Meanwhile, you just have an idea how many electrons have been already filled. Out of 22, 10 electrons have been filled. 3s2, 18 are over. After 3p, there is 3d, but it is not filled. 4s that will be filled. Because according to Auger principle, 4s orbital has lesser energy, so it fills first. Then electrons remaining will go to D. So 18 plus 2, 20 is over. Remaining 2 electron. No matter, you write 3D and then 4s, or you write 4s2 and then 3d2. No issue. Okay, order could be either 3d first or 4s first. I'm just written in the way it is there present in the shell. Okay, now chromium. So again, 24 electrons are there. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. So this is 3s2, 3p6. 18 are over. 3d is not filled. 4s2. If I write like this, 3d4 is full filled, half filled, partially filled.
Partially filled.
It is partial. Partially filled orbitals more stable, less stable.
Less stable.
Less stable. To attain stability, it has to become either half filled or full filled. Both are stable. So inside the chromium atom, rearrangement of electron takes place to attain more stability. There is 4s2, it is completely filled, of course. But if one electron jumps to 3d, is it okay? So one electron jumps to 3d, 3d4 becomes 3d5, 4s2 becomes 4s1. So now till here, I would write it argon 18. Okay, till here argon 18, inner core electron. Then one electron shifts, 3d4 becomes 3d5, 4s2 becomes 4s1. So this is the correct electronic configuration of chromium. This kind of rearrangement of electron happens between 3d and 4s to attain more stability. So now 3d5 is half filled. Half filled, more stable. So that's chromium. It is like, you are carrying two bags. So one bag has some 10 kg weight, another bag has only 5 kg weight. So you're walking across, and after a while, you just want to shift the weight equally in such a way that you will not have too much of strain on one hand. So about little items from the bag which is having 10 kg will be shifted here, so that you will see to it that there is more symmetry in both the hands, so that you can easily walk. Otherwise, slowly you will become like that, and you will get a kind of pain in the back. So that is kind of symmetry. Symmetry induces stability. So you can see 3d5 is more symmetric. So that's why I told you that half filled and completely filled orbitals are more stable due to the symmetry element. The two fully filled is much more symmetric. But here electrons are not available to make it completely filled. So in the limited number or available number of electrons, so stability is attained. Okay, at this stage, this kind of arrangement has happened. Fantastic. Give me electronic configuration of fluorine. Fluorine, the halogen, atomic number 9. Give me the electronic configuration. I'm just observing the chat box. Oh, otherwise done it. 1s to 2s to 2p5, man. Are you guessing the question by any chance? So, Aprameya. So, 1s to 2s to 2. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. My question is like this. Right, you can see here, it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. 2p5 is partial or half filled or full filled.
Partially filled.
Partially.
Partial, stable, less stable.
Less stable.
To become more stable, can this electron jump here? So that the electronic configuration of fluorine 1s2, 2s1, 2p6. Why not? Why did we write like this then? Same thing is applicable, no? Jump is jump only. Electron can jump from here to there. Then is 1s2, 2s1, 2p6 is correct. 2s2, 2p5 is correct. Somebody speaking, but I'm not able to hear.
Now?
Yeah, correct.
Yes, sir. So 2s1 would be half, right? Like it would be stable because it's half filled.
Yeah.
When it donates an electron to p.
So you mean 2s1, 2p6 is correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 2s1, 2p6. It is Amodhini, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
this actually
but 2s2 is more stable now, sir.
Sir, it cannot jump from a more stable to.
No. Why do you say 2s is more stable?
Because it's completely.
Yes, sir.
Even the same scenario was there with the chromium, no? 4s2 was completely filled, but you people pulled off an electron there. You can do the same thing here, no?
The jump is between shells, but here it's between the same shell.
Now, within the same shell, it is easy to jump actually than between the shells. Correct, no? Anjana is saying something. 2s to 2p5 are of the same shell too, but that's what between the shells, between one shell to another shell, it is rather should be more difficult than jumping between the two subshells of the same shell. What to do?
So if it becomes 1s2, 2s1, 2p6, then there are no valence electrons in the last shell. But 2s itself is incompletely filled.
It is off filled, no? Off filled is stable. That's the reason why 4s2 becomes 4s1 in chromium. And in the valence shell, still there can be one electron there. Unpaired electron. Even in 2p5, there was one unpaired electron.
Sir, we're not really dealing with an isotope of fluorine here. So isn't fluorine just unstable in nature in general? So why are we trying to stabilize an unstable element in the first place?
Fluorine as an atom is less stable because it has only 9 electrons. Basically, that is the reason. So it is ready to take one more electron so that it becomes 10 and neon. That is there, whether electron is there in 2s or 2p. That would be there. Always the tendency for any substance is to get the stability at any instant. Despite of having electron in 2s1, 2p6, still there can be need of one more electron, as fulfilled is more stable than after. Okay, that is still there. Despite of it, why not this second is correct, or why first one is correct? That's the question. If electron jump is there in chromium, why not in case of fluorine is the question.
Sir, according to Afbauer's principle, first 2s will be filled and then it will come to 2p.
Correct, Medha, but why not we are following the same Afbauer principle from 4s to 3d, but after filling 4s, electron has been jumped, no?
I think it's correct. So
Yeah, tell me.
the second one of fluorine, like 1s to 2s1 2p6.
Is correct, huh?
Yeah, sir. Because if for chromium it's the same, I think. Like why not for fluorine?
Sir, is it related to
No.
the energy of
Now,
Sir, after
Amrita,
20 electrons,
let me say, Amrita is telling, see, chromium, as you said, it is exception. So why exception is being generalized everywhere? Correct, no? So fine, there is a reason here. Your answers are really well taken. Many of them are with the concept of whatever we have studied, the rules and everything, well taken. So fine. Coming to this fluorine, why not the same thing happen? That jump of electron from s orbital to d orbital, which has taken in chromium, why not it happen in case of fluorine? So, or chlorine, or bromine, or iodine. All the halogens of 17th group elements will have same outermost electronic configuration. That is ns2 np5s. So why not it is ns1 np6? It is not possible for the reason that electron transition or jump can happen between any two orbitals or subshells when energy difference is too less. Energy difference is too less between the subshells or orbitals. Energy difference between 2s and 2p, though they are of the same shell, is much more. 2s is somewhere here. The energy of 2p, if I show like this, it will be somewhere. So this is the 2s, this is 2p. So something. Whereas energy difference between 3d and the 4s is somewhere like this. Okay, so some energy difference is too less. So electron jump is possible because of narrow energy difference between 3d and 4s. Whenever energy difference is too negligible between the two, then electron jump can happen. Still, energy can slightly increase. The increase in energy may reduce the stability, but that is taken care by half-filled electronic configuration, which will more compensate the energy increase aspect. Okay, so that means the chromium would attain more stability due to half-filled electronic configuration due to rearrangement of electron, then it would lose stability due to increase in energy due to shift of electron. Don't worry about it. Just remember, electron shift is possible between the orbitals with narrow energy difference. 3d and 4s, they differ by very narrow energy difference. Whereas 2s and 2p, they differ by more energy. If electron jump from 2s to 2p, what it loses stability due to increase in energy is more accountable, more in magnitude, than it would gain the stability due to the electronic arrangement that happens. Is it okay? So one point, energy difference between the two orbitals must be very narrow, very less. So then only electron shift is possible. So is that fine? We'll take one more. Now go for copper now. I'm just observing the chat box.
So here the energy difference refers to the electrons, sir. Like number of
Electron,
electrons per.
electron, if it is there in 2s orbital, its energy is considerably less when compared to 2p orbital. That energy of electron in 2s and 2p, the energy difference is more when compared to electron in 3d and 4s.
Okay, sir.
So Aprameya is done with the electronic configuration. Is it 4s to 3d9, Aprameya? Yeah. Anjana, why is there a less energy gap between 4s and 3d, though they are in different shells? Is the natural question that happens. See, we would say D subshell is there in third shell, S subshell is there in 4, but according to Oppo principle, energy wise it is like this, but order wise it is like this. 3d is there in the third shell, 4s is there in the fourth shell. However, energy of s orbital in fourth shell is slightly less than 3d. It is like this. As we move away from the nucleus, energy of each shell increases. Energy of each shell increases. Point number 1. As we move away from the nucleus, energy of each shell increases. Point number 2. Energy of subshells in each shell varies. How? An s orbital of a shell will have less energy when compared to p, d, f. That's the order in which varies. Energy of electron in s orbital is less when compared to p, d, f. So keeping all these things as a cumulative factor, if you find out energy difference between electron in 3d and 4s, the difference is too less. Okay, there can be calculation done. Later you will come across all these things. Just for time being, you just know, keeping two factors, how energy varies. As we move away from the nucleus, energy of shells increase. In a given shell, energy of subshells also is different. It is not same. Yes, subshell has less energy than p, than d, than f. So keeping all these things as cumulative factors, if you calculate energy difference, the energy difference between 3d and 4s is narrow, very less, so that electron jump can happen. Okay. Hope your question is answered. That's fine, Anjana.
Sir, how do we know if the energy difference is narrow or more?
How do you know like that? Is your question?
Yes, sir.
No, this is between d, penultimate d, and valences, not in between the orbitals of same shell. Never. It is between penultimate d and valences. That means 3d 4s, 4d 5s, 6d 7s. That's all. Don't
Yes,
worry
sir.
about it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So many of you have given correct answers. Looking at your electronic configuration, I was explaining this. That's the correct answer. I think Aprameya got the answer by looking at the other ones. Okay, it is similar to the chromium. Okay, so I would write this electronic configuration. Let's take this. Okay. So copper 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. Then 3d not filled, 4s. Actually, it has to be 4s2, 3d9. 3d9 is partial, so less stable. So what would happen? So this is not the electronic configuration. So therefore, what is the correct electronic configuration? Up to 3p6, it is argon 18, right? Then one electron shift happens. So 3d9 becomes 3d10, then 4s1. 3d10 fulfilled. If you look at 4s, it is still half filled. So both are stable. So this is the correct electronic configuration for copper. Okay. Yes, we have taken rules governing electronic configuration and writing electronic configuration. Uh, so some clarity is probably you would have got in writing the electronic configuration in all these classes. Okay, so we'll meet later in the next class. Probably your bridge course Nanasetu will conclude. Okay, so we'll meet all again in our regular classes in first class. Is that okay? So till then, take care, be safe. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you. Yes, I'm going to end the meeting.